You are watching News 9. I am Krishna Kumar. As a mega debate is underway in the Lok Sabha, the Indian Army has successfully eliminated 3 Pakistan-sponsored terrorists, including Hashim Musa, alias Suleiman, the mastermind of the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack. All of this in the ongoing Operation Mahadev in the Lidwas area of Dachigam in Srinagar. Musa, a former Pakistani Army Special Forces operative, is believed to have planned the brutal Pahalgam massacre in which 26 Indians were killed. Top sources have revealed that Indian security agencies had been conducting intense physical and electronic surveillance following the Pahalgam terror attack. And during this surveillance, agencies intercepted unusual radio communication activity, which was later confirmed to be Chinese manufactured ultra radio devices used for encrypted messaging by Lashkar operatives. This critical signal intelligence breakthrough became the trigger point for launching the joint operation in Dachigam's Lidwas area. Sources further indicate that this Chinese ultra radio technology has been in Lashkar's communication network since at least 2016, when it was referred to as WY SMS. All 3 dead bodies have been recovered by the joint team of Indian Army, CRPF and the Jammu and Kashmir Police. A massive cache of arms and ammunition has also been recovered from the site, including 1 US-made M4 carbine, 3 AK series rifles, 1 additional AK-47, 17 rifle grenades and hand grenades. Top Army officials have lauded the precision and coordination of the operation. Lieutenant General Pratik Sharma, Army Commander, Northern Command, congratulated the Chinar Corps for their swift and decisive action. Exclusive visuals accessed show the slain terrorists and the arms recovered during the operation. We have our senior executive editor Aditya Rajkol now joining us live with the latest. Aditya, a massive breakthrough and a hugely successful operation, especially in the context of things.
That's right, Krishna. It's a big development coming in several weeks after the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack, in which 26 innocent tourists were killed in a most brutal fashion by Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Toiba and its front TRF. Let's remember there were 25 Indians and 1 Nepalese national who were very brutally killed in that terror attack, an attack that had sent, a lot of questions were asked and a lot of anger among the people all across India and also globally, condemnations coming in. And now one of the terrorists who is part of this module that has been intercepted and neutralized is Suleiman or Musa, who was part of the Pakistan Army as a special commando and had training from the Pakistan Army for years together, and thereafter intruded inside the Lashkar-e-Toiba as part of the modus operandi of the Pakistan Army and the ISI, and thereafter infiltrated into India and let Pahalgam happen. In fact, he was the person who was firing bullets into the tourists who were traveling to Pahalgam at that particular time in April. So certainly a big development coming in. This is happening at Dachigam. In fact, the operation has been named Mahadev because this is the Mahadev Ridge inside Dachigam. I've had the opportunity to visit Dachigam forest at least 3 to 4 times in the past, and I can tell you that it's a very difficult terrain, not easy to operate in this kind of a terrain. And of course, this was an operation led by the Indian Army, and there was support from the J&K Police and the CRPF. But a big, massive victory coming in for the Chinar Corps, for the Indian Army, and of course for the Northern Command, that at least one of the 3 to 6 terrorists who were involved in the Pahalgam terror attack have been neutralized. The exact identities will be clear only by tomorrow, because today in the evening at around 5 p.m. There was supposed to be a press briefing by the Indian Army at the Badami Bagh cantonment of the Chinnar Corps, but that has been postponed now, and tomorrow we are being told sometime after 9:30 a.m. a press briefing will be held by the Indian Army, and of course there will be senior officers of the J&K police and the CRPF that will be present as well. Coincidentally, this is also a time when Operation Sindoor and Pahalgam terror attack are being discussed inside the Indian Parliament, and such a befitting response being given by the Indian Armed Forces and avenging every killing that happened of that innocent men in the Pahalgam terror attack.
Ditya, this is also a very strong, important message that India is sending out to the world, isn't it? You know, we will find the perpetrators of the Pahalgam terror attack. That is the red line that, you know, that cannot be crossed. We cannot go back about our, there's no going back in terms of policy anymore. And to tell the world where the terror is emanating from. In this case, with the latest breakthrough, you can see that it is not just Pakistan, but Pakistan is backed by Chinese equipment.
That's right. No doubts about that, Krishna. India does not look the other way when it comes to terrorism, especially when it comes to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. That has led to a lot of killings over the last 3 decades or more, particularly in India's Jammu and Kashmir. In the recent times in Pahalgam, of course, we saw the carnage taking place, men being selected, in fact, Hindu men being selected and killed in the most brutal fashion. There was global condemnation. India also sent a joint parliamentary committees to at least 33 countries all across the globe to tell people how Pakistan was responsible for terror attacks in India and did not believe in any kind of peace efforts on the border or otherwise. And of course, the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack was Hashim Musa, the Pakistan Army chief, and this particular person who has been killed, Suleiman, was part of the Pakistan Army, the same army that is led by Hashim Musa. At the same time, there's been swift, help that is coming in from China for Pakistan. The Ultra set that was used for years together by the Pakistani terrorists was recovered in this operation as well. Apart from that, there's an Alpine app that is used similar to a Google app by the terrorists to intrude into India, to infiltrate into India, and finally led to terror attacks all across the country. So Pakistan's role in terrorism is globally very much clear. It's an open secret, and China's support to Pakistan continues to be a cause of concern for India and for the global community, when China certainly is not believing in the principles of the international law. So clearly at this particular stage, this is a big win for the Indian security forces. But there's much more that the government and the forces will have to do to bring in consistency against terrorism and to, of course, neutralize every last terrorist who is there to harm not just civilians in Jammu and Kashmir, but also the soldiers and security forces.
And Aditya, at this stage, the only thing left is how soon can we bring all the perpetrators to book of the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack? That will be priority number one, isn't it, at this stage?
That's right. That's the big priority for the security forces, particularly the NIA, the Indian Army and the J&K police that are in the front line of this operation, as well as investigation, collecting intelligence on the remaining terrorists who are from the Lashkar-e-Toiba, who are seeking shelter somewhere in Jammu and Kashmir. We'll know more details about this operation and the people who have been killed tomorrow. But if Suleiman certainly has been killed, it's a big, big victory for the Indian armed forces, for the security forces, particularly the Indian Army and the J&K police, who have been doing everything possible over the last many weeks to neutralize these terrorists, to safeguard every tourist location in Jammu and Kashmir, to ensure that every civilian, every Indian and every tourist visiting Jammu and Kashmir is very much safe. So Indian security forces are trying their best. Politicians, of course, are discussing this inside the parliament, but this is certainly a time when the entire country, irrespective of ideology, comes together and supports the Indian armed forces.
Aditya Rajkol, our senior executive editor there, getting us the latest on that big story that we're tracking. Thank you, Aditya, for bringing us that update and perspective. And with that, we take a very short breather. News and updates will be back in just a minute. Keep watching News 9.